Hey everybody, Wayne Hanson here. Just excited about launching this new season of the Jesus Taxi. About to show you episode 1. I have several different platforms I'm going to be showing this on. Make sure and friend me, like me, share, comment, subscribe. Facebook.com, Pastor Wayne H. Pastor Wayne H on YouTube.com, Instagram.com, Pastor Wayne H, LinkedIn.com/in/Pastor Wayne H. I think you're sensing a theme. You can find me in multiple platforms at Pastor Wayne H. I look forward to seeing you there. Comment, like, share, follow, subscribe. And without any further ado, watch this first episode for the first season of the Jesus Taxi. Hey everybody, on this episode of the Jesus Taxi, I'll be talking with Emmy Mitchell as she comes back in from Denver International Airport, and we're going to be singing a little song and talking about our original sponsors for episode number 1 of the Jesus Taxi. Hey everybody, I'm Wayne Hanson, lead pastor of Summit Church of Castle Rock and a rideshare driver. I'm so excited about this brand new show called The Jesus Taxi. Lately, I just took my niece, who's a beautiful singer. She sings the national anthem at sporting events, and she's a worship leader in her own right. A wonderful, wonderful niece. Make sure and support this ministry. Join the community, comment, like, share, follow, and subscribe. Look for us on social media. You can even donate to the ministry that way, or go to mysummitchurch.com. Without any further ado, check out this little ride that I had with my niece, Emmy Mitchell. We're wearing the masks because of COVID, and you'll see what happens at the end. Hop in. Do I need to wear this? Do you need to wear it? What do you think?
I don't know. What's going on with Connor?
Oh, right. Maybe I should wear it, huh?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll wear it.
That lady was sitting there for 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the car?
Uh-huh. Just sitting here waiting. I was like, oh.
Wow. Maybe your person never showed up. So how was your trip to Florida?
I went to Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Wisconsin.
It was
Florida
good.
Florida was your last trip.
Yeah, I went to Florida, I think like a month ago. I went to go visit my friend who was graduating high school.
Okay.
My best friend.
Nice.
And then we just went and did fun stuff all week, so.
Yeah. So what, let's see, Wisconsin. Probably went to a lake.
Yep.
Probably went to a dairy. Got some cheese or cheese curds somewhere.
I did.
Probably went to a fleet farm sometime this week.
I did go to a fleet farm.
If you were with any boys, you might have gone fishing.
I did not go fishing.
Okay. Your dad would be so disappointed.
I did go to the Packers Pro Shop.
Oh, did you? So you went to Green Bay?
Yeah.
Nice.
I called my mom and I was like, she's like, okay, you have to get something for everybody.
So you get something in the discount bin at the Packer Pro Shop?
Yeah, during the summer, like almost everything is on
cheap.
sale.
Yeah,
so
sure.
it's like the best time to go.
That's awesome. It's
and
really
then,
fun.
yeah, right outside of Milwaukee, they have
So was
like,
the Packer Hall of Fame open and everything?
it wasn't. So like you couldn't take tours or anything.
Right.
Which was fine because I've already done it.
Yeah. So yeah, how do you like my rigs? It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, you got a lot of footage.
Right? Yeah, dang it.
Got a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah, I do. I do stuff. Always have a Jesus cam. There's always a key, just in case Jesus starts dancing, doing something. We get cool, crazy weather or whatever. Of course, talk about Jesus.
Right.
So, Emmy, what do you think about Jesus?
I love Jesus.
Yeah. What's your earliest memory thinking about Jesus?
Probably when Finn drowned.
Oh, right.
And he was talking about like, mommy, good guys. And he's
Wow.
like bad guys. But he was just looking at the light in the dark.
Huh.
And they pull up the nativity scene. He's like, that's Jesus. And he pointed out the angel. He's like, that's a doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, I don't know, that's probably when I was like, wow, like, this is for real. Like, this is not, like, just something that my parents are telling me. Like, this is a real thing.
That's awesome. Do you remember, what's your earliest memory of, like, asking, you're evangelical, so, like, you always grown up in Bible-believing churches.
Mm-hmm.
What's your earliest memory of praying the prayer and asking Jesus in your heart? Did I baptize you?
You did baptize me.
Yeah.
I think I was about 6.
Yeah, so it was probably kids' church or Sunday school or...
I think it was.
Or
I
at
think
home or something.
we were still living in Monument.
Yeah.
And it was, what's that church called? The one, you know, right where I'm talking
Tri Lakes
about?
Chapel.
Yeah, Tri Lakes Chapel.
Yeah.
And I was at Awana's.
Okay. Yep, they were great at Bible teaching in that church.
I loved Awana.
Yeah, Awana's a great program. The Bible Bucks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you earned your Bible Bucks.
And then you would go trunk or treat there.
Yeah, trunk or treat.
You wore the cool green shirt.
Yep, that's
Nice.
true. Have you had any, like, supernatural, what you call Jesus encounters, or like miraculous or paranormal kind of stuff? Where you're like, wow, God, like, I know the thing with Finn, like, Finn literally drowned.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But,
and the fact that, I mean, part of me is still like, wow, that's amazing.
Right.
I don't think I have any personal experiences.
Right.
I brought people to Jesus, which I think is
Yeah, what's
amazing.
one of the cooler times when you asked, when you invited someone to say yes to Jesus?
So I have a friend, his name is Dylan,
Yeah.
and he is 2 years older than me exactly, like we have the same birthday.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to him, and he's like, I'm an atheist. I was like, oh, you are? He's like, yeah. I was like, why?
Huh.
And his mom has cancer. So he's like, I just don't understand why any God
Would
do
let this
to
happen to my
somebody.
mom.
Right.
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna pray for you. So I prayed for him. I prayed for him for about a year. And then he told me, like, we're pretty close friends. He finally told me, he's like, Emmy, my mom, like, her cancer is gone. They removed the tumor. She has no, like, stem cells with cancer in them. Like, she's clean right now. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I'm so glad.
That is awesome.
And he was like, well, why do you think this happened? I was like, well, I've been praying for you. I was like, I honestly think that it was God, because the fact that she had breast cancer, the fact that she bounced back from that within a year is crazy.
That's really cool.
And so then he was like, wow, like, you really believe this? I was like, absolutely, I believe it. Like, my family experiences, with Finn.
Yeah.
And just, like, realizing that God, like, he does his works, and it may take a while, but it happens.
Yeah, so I love talking with my niece, Emmy. She's a great singer. You're going to hear her singing voice when we come back from this next break. But I want to just thank those who are helping sponsor this show. Some of my car-related sponsors, ministry-related people. And I've enjoyed being a rideshare driver for the last couple of years. You're going to hear a little bit more about that in the days to come. And, of course, I love cars. I love talking about cars. I love talking with people who like to talk about cars. I hate it when a car breaks down, but I'm also very grateful when I find little tips and tricks. And so that brings us to our first sponsor in our first episode. For the first time, you're going to hear about this sponsor. Lyft. Set your own hours and earn over $1,600 in your first month. Just drive 140 rides in 30 days, and that money is guaranteed. Terms apply. Learn how to become a Lyft driver in your city. Sign up today. Be your own boss. Applications are now open. Drivers earn tips and meet lots of interesting people, and I can vouch for that. Especially late night on the weekends, you'll meet some folks that you probably never would have met in any other way. Go to Lyft.com today and use my driver referral code Wayne68712. That's Wayne 68712. Start earning cash right away. You'll be supporting the ministry and my family all at the same time. You can become a driver or get a ride right now with Lyft. So once again, my offer code is Wayne 68712. So grateful for rideshare driving. I also drive for a few other rideshare companies and food delivery services. I pastor the church, of course. I do a lot of different things. Got my hands in a lot of different things, but I am grateful for the opportunity to be my own boss and be an independent contractor with that. Able to talk a lot about Jesus. We're sitting in this car right here. It's amazing. No matter where people are at spiritually, everyone has an opinion about Jesus Christ. And that's why this Jesus Taxi ministry, I think, is so important and so useful. And hopefully you can, once again, share, like, comment, subscribe, let someone know about this ministry. I think that this could be something that grows and grows and grows. If you'd like to be a sponsor, make sure and contact us as well. And if you'd like to be a passenger in the Jesus Taxi, we would love to have you. So without any further ado, I think we're going to go back to my niece, Emmy, and listen to her sing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh, come on, that was awesome!
Yeah.
Woo!
I want to go back to school.
Right? I think everyone wants to sort of return to whatever the new normal is going to be. Can we just get to that?
Right. If wearing a mask helps that, I'm so down.
Right. Right.
But I don't want to have to wear a mask in school all day and then have to go to work and wear the mask all day. You know?
Oh, it's such a pain. Such a pain.
So I was thinking I'd prefer to do online school or like go to school like 2 or 3 days a week instead of all 5.
Yeah. I know they're talking about a vaccination, but the problem is they haven't had much time to test anything.
I don't know about all that. I think I'd rather just run the risk.
Yeah, and then I heard from a missionary friend in West Africa, they had this very sketchy vaccine that they were testing. Some foreign national group. They vaccinated 12 kids in Ghana, and all 12 of them were dead in 10 minutes after they were vaccinated.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's test it. Real good. Real good.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a vaccine for dogs for coronavirus.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, we're not dogs, so...
Right, exactly.
How that would...
And then the president of Brazil gave the okay for the Chinese medical community to vaccinate about 1,100 Brazilians in Sao Paulo with the new vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So there are groups that are testing new recipes, but you have to see. I mean, you're not going to know right away because, like, who knows? Those people could get cancer in 6 months. You know,
right.
you need some time to figure out. And first of all, is it going to beat the virus? Second of all, are there any nasty side effects that we're not aware of?
Well, think about you. Like, people get the flu shot and they can still get the flu. Like,
Oh, for sure.
I've never gotten a flu shot.
Yeah, and the fact that you might be able to get corona, you beat it, and then you could get it again. Like,
Right.
that could happen. That could happen.
I've heard that it's not as bad as it first was, though, at all.
Right.
You can just stay home and not feel well for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've heard the same.
So, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, like, I'm not worried. If I get COVID, that's fine. I can just sit in my room for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure. So what was the plane like coming back from Wisconsin? Was it every other seat? Was it socially distanced? How did
it's just like the 3 and 3 basic. but they don't seat the middle seat unless you're a family.
Okay.
So I had some random guy sit by me, but he was like a seat away, so it's not that big of a deal. But the only problem is there's somebody like directly in front of you and directly behind you.
Right.
Which doesn't really make sense to me.
Like if someone can sneeze on the back of your head, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think the airlines don't know what to do because they're like, they can't operate with any kind of profit margin the way that the social distancing works. You can't book a full airplane, and they can't recover their cost with fuel and overhead with staff and
right.
airports and everything. They might have to totally redesign airplanes and how you seat them and even how people get in. You know?
Well, and then I flew Southwest, so they just do like the boarding groups. You pick your own seat.
Yeah.
And so I tried to pick like a seat far to the back where like not really anybody would want to sit.
Yeah.
And they said it like it wasn't a full airplane, so they shouldn't have to have somebody by you, but somebody just chose to sit by me anyways. But like they call you up instead of like groups of 20 now, where like there's 10 people on both sides. They just do 10.
Oh, okay.
And they ask you to go like every other like full thing.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, but like going through the air, like
was the security really long?
No.
Okay.
No, it's because there's not many people flying. Like there's people flying, but it's not nearly as busy.
Right. And they probably the security people don't want to be exposed to anybody any longer than they have to, so they're like, "Go on through, man. You're good."
Well, but even then, like when they checked my ID, they made me take my mask down
to see your face.
To see my face.
Can you show us your face without breathing?
Well, and then they have like plastic barriers up everywhere.
All right. Now, what's a shower curtain gonna do? I mean, that's what's so silly. You have this flimsy little shower curtain. Like, how often do they clean that?
Right. What I don't understand is like the little credit card tills.
Yeah.
You like put it in. I don't understand why they're covering those. Because it's not like they're like with like cling wrap. Because it's not like you're cleaning it off.
Right. Because you're gonna touch the same buttons that other people are touching. I know. I think it's psychological. They're just trying to make it look like they're making an effort.
Right.
Hey everybody, so glad you're joining us for the Jesus Taxi. Our second sponsorship today is topcarbid.com. Topcarbid.com. Sell your car, talk about cars, or promote your other interest. Join the game that pays. For a modest annual fee, you can list an unlimited amount of vehicles, unlike Craigslist or AutoTrader. Build a profile with a link to your business website, such as LinkedIn, Facebook, or your own website. And as a member, you can write your own articles about what you like or what you don't like about your car or any other interest related to the automotive industry. Go to topcarbid.com to beat the classifieds game. Earn up to $50 or more for each friend that joins the site on your recommendation. Join topcarbid.com today to sell your car, promote your interests, and earn cash fast. We'll see you out there, out on the open road. So topcarbid.com. Glad you're joining me again here today for the first episode of the Jesus Taxi. Been sitting here with my niece, Emmy Mitchell, and she's been singing for us, and we've been having an interesting talk about COVID-19 and all the fascinating things that have been happening in the times and the culture that we're living in today. It's so good for us to talk about the Lord and then just talk about living everyday life. I hope that you'll remember that God is for you. He's not against you. No matter what you're facing today, you can turn your problems over to the Lord and He will listen to you. Summit Church of Castle Rock. We're the ministry that meets normally at Castle View High School in Castle Rock, Colorado. We've been meeting at Bison Park Amphitheater in Castle Rock this summer. But, right for now, that's where we'll be until further notice. And then hopefully in the winter months, we'll have a better spot for our ministry to meet at on a weekly basis. But let's go back and listen in and watch our conversation with Emmy Mitchell as we round this out.
Well, like Wisconsin's wide open.
Is it? So people are like, whatever, we're fine.
Pretty much. I mean, I wore a mask when I went into like stores and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't want to like put anybody at risk, like back home.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to pick something up there, bring it back here.
Were the people not wearing masks in Wisconsin?
Even like at restaurants, like waiters weren't wearing masks. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. At like grocery store tills, they weren't wearing masks, that kind of thing.
No kidding.
It was weird, but then they just made it mandatory starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
To wear a mask.
So I think it's different state to state.
Oh, for sure it is.
Yeah.
But now here you have to wear a mask in every building, right?
Yeah, everywhere indoors.
Area.
Yeah. So that's what's nice about my church being in the local park and online right now, is that we can go to church and not wear the masks because we're all outside.
Well,
but
there you go.
You know, not going to be able to do that all year.
Right.
You know. You think about those poor restaurants; they don't have any outdoor seating. They're just not going to make it, man.
Well, View House is tenting the whole yard, like the whole courtyard area that we have in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put heaters in it. So that way over the winter, if we still have to have that, we still have a ton of seating outside.
Yeah. Well, I don't see it changing for until Christmas probably.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know? And
like it's going to be
they
warm.
thought it was going to calm down in the summer with the hot weather, but I don't think it's calmed down at all. So, and it probably is evolving. You know, viruses do seem to like
mutate.
Yeah.
But something that I did read an article about was, like even though people like are passing away, if they test them for COVID and they test positive,
yeah,
they're ruling their death as COVID.
Yeah, no, they're definitely fudging the numbers.
Oh, for sure.
And you know what's happening is, the more people you have die of COVID in your state, the governor can put that in for federal FEMA relief money. So they're trying to boost the numbers of COVID to get more federal relief dollars to their state. I'm Swedish American. What Sweden did was they decided they weren't going to shut down. The only people they're going to isolate were the people at risk, like the people in nursing homes. Yep. And those who were immunocompromised, but otherwise they left everything as it was. And they did have a lot of loss in the beginning, way more than America did, but now they won't have a second wave in their belief because all those people got immunity when they got coronavirus the first time. Yeah.
It honestly isn't that bad. I don't know why people make such a big deal about wearing masks.
It's a hassle. You're just straightening it, trying to keep it in place the whole time.
I do think wearing a mask though makes you touch your face more.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, so it might defeat some of the purpose.
Right. Like my mom's like, it's hard for me to wear a mask. I'm like, that's because you're wearing something that has 4 layers of fabric. Like literally just get like a medical disposable one.
Yeah.
So then it's not nearly as bad.
That's why I like the buffs. You can wash them, rewash them.
I have a Colorado buff that I was wearing, but I can't wear it at work, so. Like the mask they gave me for work is so thick, it's so hard to breathe through.
Right.
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
And there are people here are very healthy. Like there's not a lot of people with diabetes, not a lot of overweight people in Castle Rock. Everyone's either riding a bike or going to the gym or like
climbing rocks.
People are very healthy in Castle Rock, so if we're like, why shouldn't we have to wear a mask when we're not in danger of getting the virus? So I don't know. You have a lot of freedom lover people here in Douglas County that got very upset about the order, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
If you get a test before your 14-day period, will it come out as positive or negative?
That's the thing. There's lots of false positives. I have a friend here in town that tested positive for COVID. He tested him the next morning, tested positive. They tested him the next afternoon, he tested positive. And then they tested him that night, and he tested negative. They tested him again the next morning, and he was negative. So I just don't think the testing is very accurate. I think you have to more listen to your body. You go, do you have a cough? Do you have a fever? Or do you have fatigue? Do you have all the, have you lost your sense of taste and smell? Like, those are all the big telltale signs that we know.
Oh, Connor's negative.
Oh, hallelujah.
Good stuff.
We could send that boy back to Seattle.
You're ready to get rid of him.
Yeah, he was supposed to fly home yesterday, but if he had tested positive, then he was going to be stuck here for 14 days.
Stuck in your house, huh?
Yeah, but Guess we can take these off now.
Heck yeah!
I know I don't have it.
Woo! Freedom!
No mask. Well, how do you like that? We had to wear masks the whole time, and now he's negative, and now we don't have to wear masks. So that was an exciting ending to your first ride in the Jesus taxi.
Our little adventure.
Yeah, and we sang the national anthem together.
Oh yes.
I feel like we went like on a little journey,
we had a little adventure,
a little spiritual journey with Jesus, and Jesus was dancing the whole time.
Yep.
It was awesome, and my roof cam did well. Thanks everybody for watching this segment. Love you, Emmy.
Love you too.
Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. We want to thank Summit Church of Castle Rock. There are 3 ways to give financially to the outreach of Summit Church. Visit our giving link at mysummitchurch.com and click on the online giving link. Or you can text your gift to 303-625-9434. Follow the prompts using your smartphone. This method is free and there's no carrier charges to give by text. You can also hit the donate button on our Facebook page. Visit Summit Church of Castle Rock on Facebook and hit the donate button. I want to encourage all of you to remember what this show is really all about. The Jesus Taxi is about realizing that there's a God in heaven who loves you so very much. John 3:16 is still true, even during a global pandemic, even during times of political upheaval and all the difficulty that we've been facing as a nation. God so loved the world. That means you and me. God so loved you and I that he sent his son Jesus, that whoever would believe in him would not perish but have everlasting life. And I like to say that this show is sponsored by STP, not scientifically treated petroleum, but sorry, thank you, please. Coming to Jesus is as easy as STP. Sorry, thank you, please. Would you pray that prayer with me of it in just asking Christ to forgive you of your sins? Thank him for dying in your place, just confessing your belief in him, and asking him to come in and be the leader and to be the Lord of your life. If you've never prayed that prayer, would you pray it with me right now? Just pray that sorry, thank you, please with me. Say, Dear Jesus, I'm sorry for the sins I've committed. I'm sorry for going my own way. Thank you for dying on the cross for me. I believe that God raised you from the dead. I want to live for you, Jesus. Please come in, be my leader, and be my Lord. It's a powerful prayer. And if you pray it and you believe it, it starts a new life in Christ. And I hope that you would let us know that you made that commitment to Christ. Share that with a friend. If you know of someone who's a believer, get a copy of God's Word, the Bible. If you live here in Colorado, especially in the South Denver metro area, we'd love to see you on a Sunday morning. Join a church family and figure out ways to grow in your faith and become the person that God really wants you to be. I'm so proud of you if you've prayed that prayer for the first time. So glad that you joined me today for the first ever episode of the Jesus Taxi. It's been a long time in the making, been collecting a lot of footage, but now the season has begun in earnest. See you next time for another episode of the Jesus Taxi.
You're the reason why the sun keeps going up and down every day. You're the reason why I'm standing here and singing out your highest praise. You're the greatest reason why I'm loving life this way. I clap my hands and I sing and dance and I make some noise, make it, 'cause you're the reason. You're the reason. You're the You're the reason. You're the reason.
Thank you so much for tuning in today to the ministry of Summit Church and the daily outreach of Wayne Hanson. You can support our ministry in many ways. Click the donate button on our Facebook page, Summit Church of Castle Rock. Visit our webpage, mysummitchurch.com, and click the online giving link. Or mail your donation to Summit Church of Castle Rock, 200 South Wilcox Street, Box 243, Castle Rock, Colorado, 80104. Or finally, text your gift to 303-625-9434 and follow the prompts using your smartphone. You can also support us by connecting with our online community. Comment, like, share, follow, and subscribe on our various social media channels. Of course, we appreciate you joining us in daily prayer. I'm Sean Rima, and on behalf of Pastor Wayne and the Summit Church family, take care and have a great week. Remember, God loves you, and He has a wonderful plan for your life.